yeah, apparently there's a new horror movie coming out. Of course, it's a sequel, and it's a sequel on a movie that nobody watched and everybody made fun of. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is getting a sequel, and why would you do this? It was a shitty movie. Like, it shouldn't, it didn't even make it to the Sci-Fi Channel. Like, granted, I haven't watched cable television in like a decade, but I assume this is the shit they still put out on Sci-Fi. And for those of you who didn't watch it or don't know what it's about, Christopher Robin forgets he has everybody in the forest and eventually comes back and they're murderous, rampaging furry monsters. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. But we're getting a sequel. So I'm gonna read this article and go over how the fuck they think they're gonna make money off of this. But before we do, guys, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share this one out. All right, here we go. Last year, the Reese Frack Waterfield horror movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, dropped in cinemas, leaving disgust and fascination in its wake. I don't think anybody was fascinated. Turning beloved children characters into killers is not a new concept, but the movie managed to stand out amongst the rest, even if it was arguably for the wrong reasons. The horror film managed to garner a 3% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and plenty more controversy, but now it seems like the sequel is on its way in spite of all that. Sadly, as of writing, there is no confirmed release for the Winnie the Pooh horror sequel. Considering the original came out Friday of this year, we can perhaps expect the following movie to appear around the same time in 2024. Either that or it will be released around October since the spooky season. I don't think it'll help. So far, there's no official plot for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, but it's likely to follow the concept of the first movie. The plot of the original is thus: transformed into feral and bloodthirsty, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet terrorize Christopher Robin and a group of young women at a remote house. Watch the first movie. I'm not watching the fucking trailer. I saw it once and I never want to see it again. However, the director of the original has hinted at some plot elements. During a recent interview with IndieWire, Reese Frack Waterfield discussed the upcoming film and teased some of the improvements he planned to make. There was a lot of major. What? Okay, hold on. There was a lot of major areas from the first film which I wanted to improve for the sequel, and one of that was the creatures. One of those was the look of the creatures. I'm guessing this dude's first language is in English. The sequel is a Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh story, which it should be. To accompany that, we explored a lot more of Winnie the Pooh universe, which everyone is kind of familiar with. So far, casting news has also been limited, but we will update the article when we learn more, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's... Yeah, so pretty much the person who created this just says, hey, I'm making a new one. And I don't want it. Does anybody actually want this? And let's go over the numbers for it because it's pretty fucking bad. I mean, I guess he made money, but not... But why? You've made enough money, get the fuck out. All right, so Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2023. Domestic box office, $2 million. International box office, $3 million, for a grand total of $5.2 million. And if I remember correctly, the budget for this was, or the production cost for this was $100,000. Why would you... it's not even a good fucking movie. It's really not. Yeah, so here we can see it released February 15th, made under $1 million. Yeah, it did not do great. What was February 17th? That had to have been a weekend, right? Yeah, the 17th was a Friday. Yeah, so this dropped on a random fucking Wednesday. That's fucking fantastic. So, I mean, yeah, the dude made money, but why would you even try and make a second one? This is not... Someone help me explain this. Help me understand this, because I have no clue why somebody would make a movie that essentially nobody fucking watched, but want to make a second one. The only thing I can think of is that he's some fucking film producer in something and to keep insurance money. Same thing like Sharknado. He had to make the movie to keep his insurance. Like that's the only thing I can think of, but I don't think you have to make a movie every year. And I know I bitch about Rotten Tomatoes, but this wasn't a big production. They're not paying people for reviews. The critics gave it a 3%. The audience score is a 50%. And the audience score is like, yeah, this is terrible. Like you get the occasional one that's like, one of the best horror films I've seen in a decade. Bullshit. Like you can tell. Like who's actually trolling on these reviews? The voluptuous yellow bear and his little pink friend tickled my fancy, and I hope it does the same for you. Like, no, not scary like I expected. No, it's pretty much just gore porn. But guys, I want to know, did you guys ever watch this movie? If you did, what did you think about it? And would you watch it if you haven't? And would you even want to see a second one? I think it's pretty clear my answer is no on this one, but leave your thoughts in the comments section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and share this video out because I suffered through this movie once. Maybe somebody else can suffer as well. But until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.